This West Island band may be young, but they're musically wise beyond their years. With a new album on the way, they're ready to rock. For the Vocalist magazine presents, this is the Record Breakers.
We actually originally started off, which not many people know, is when we were doing our covers, we were under the name of Hayden and Friends. And we kind of came to a consensus that that was a terrible choice. Yes. And, well, we needed a new name. And at that point, since we were doing heavily on the old school covers and all that stuff, we wanted something that was retro. So we were throwing out names and such. And obviously the topic of records came out a lot, vinyls and such. So somebody blurted out the Record Breakers, and we thought about that, and we're like, you know what, that might be a good name to use, and it stuck, and people, out of what we know, like the name, so we're keeping it.
Walk away from this place I'm stuck in.
Tell me how you guys met.
The way we met was all through a music school that we'd all gone to at a certain point. I was in a band with Devin at the time. Bella and Julian were also in a band, and Michael was in another band with members that I used to play with. But there came a point where there was a show that I was offered, the Montreal Beatles Day in 2014, and I needed a band to be put together for this. So already working with Devin, he was in. Bella, essential for the band, so absolutely in. Julian came along and couldn't be happier with that. And Michael came in with, at that point, simplistic guitar playing, and we've kind of developed him into this amazing person that he is now.
I started on guitar. I was taking lessons when I was like 11 years old maybe, and then I've pretty much been singing all my life, took lessons. Then I only learned banjo about a year ago, and I pretty much just self-taught, and not the best yet, but I'm trying, trying really hard.
I've been playing guitar now for, it's probably approaching 10 years already. In terms of music in general, it's been my thing my whole life with other instruments, but guitar around that time, I've been singing for as long as I can remember, and I've picked up some other instruments along the way.
I started playing guitar when I was 11 years old, and I started learning the piano around a year ago now. I took a few lessons, but mostly I just used the internet and figured out what sounded good to me.
I started around grade 7, and then 5 years, and then now it's going to be around 8, so yeah.
I started in grade 8, and I was kind of just learning at school, and then I started seriously taking lessons in grade 9 at the same music school where we all met.
When it came to recording your first EP, what I noticed was that there was definitely a mix of genres. Every song sounded completely different, almost from different bands to some extent.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what was what was the writing process like for that EP?
Well, at that point, we really didn't have a main style. It was really like his stuff was still pretty bluesy and rocky, and mine was still more pop. Like at that point, I only sort of started getting into folk. And those songs were all written at pretty different times. Like, I don't know, 2 of them were written like a year before we even thought we were gonna write an album or have an album. So it's pretty.
We'd started writing together by that point.
Yeah.
A bit. One of the songs, I think it was about a couple of songs on the album, we'd realized that if we write together a bit more, we can do some cool things rather than just my stuff and just her stuff. Yeah. And that kind of, I think, was the start of finding our sound, was when we'd actually collaborate
Yeah.
a lot better, you know?
Because now it's like much more centralized on an idea. Like it's not very different anymore as it used to be.
Fresh air, far from home.
So I want to take it back to the summer of 2015. I don't know if you guys know what I'm alluding to, but I heard that you performed at a show where Blue Rodeo was headlining.
Yeah.
So, and this obviously was a pivotal moment, I think, within
really
your
was.
band. So, do you want to talk a little bit about that performance, how that even happened, and meeting Blue Rodeo?
Well, there's a thing that happens in the West Island here every year called Strangers in the Night. It's a fundraiser for the Starlight Children's Foundation. And we'd gotten in touch with the organizer, and at that point, my mom was doing a lot of the bookings, so she sent out an email. She's like, hey, we're from the Record Breakers. Here's a video of us playing a cover song. It was actually from our first show, because this is still a while ago. And he's like, yeah, I'd love to have them at this event. And we're like, what? He replied within like a day or two, and we were shocked. And at that point, we didn't really know Blue Rodeo's music, per se. I started listening to it, and I'm like, this is good. And then after the show, we'd gotten to speak to all of them, and they were the nicest people we'd ever met. And their music so strongly influenced us that from that point on, everything we did was different and had more of a meaning to it.
Why can't we turn our heads away? I was taught to kick down doors when I was stuck in between, but I can only close yours. I hope you'll do the same for me. Why can't we turn our heads away? Watch the love fade. Why can't we turn our heads away? Watch the love fade. And now it seems like I'm drowning. I feel the water flowing in. I've got a boat to go down with. I hope to see your soul within. Why can't we turn our heads away? Watch the love fade. Why can't we turn our heads away? Watch the love fade. Remember when our hearts were young, like children playing in the sun? Wait until the night is gone. No more thoughts of what went on. I will cry. Why can't we turn our heads away? Watch the love fade. Why can't we turn our heads away? Watch the love fade. Why can't we turn our heads away and watch the love fade? Why can't we turn
For the release of the EP, I heard that you guys had a sold-out sort of show venue. Do you want to talk about that experience?
Yeah, it was a lot of people there. We weren't expecting that many. There was some people coming in, like we didn't know them, like friends or family. We didn't know, it was just random people coming in, which was cool. We had friends, family. And it was a big deal because, I mean, it's our first EP, so we're really hype about it. So,
Pretty hype.
Yeah, really
I think
hype.
everybody, I mean, if you're a musician, I think everybody that is a musician probably dreams about releasing their first album. And so it was a pretty big deal. It was so full of people. It was so amazing. And the whole vibe of everything, it was just so exciting, like just to finally release it and have all this, like all these people supporting us was just awesome. Check, check.
Are you guys just maybe 1:36?
How do you guys go about writing a song? How does that work? Do you guys vibe off of each other? Or do you have lyrics that you then put music to?
Usually they would come up with the writing and all that, and we would listen to it, and we play over it and get ideas, and then we find a structure, and then we put them together, and then so they're the main writers. They write everything.
We're
So
the main writers.
But the answering machine said, better luck on the next try.
Sometimes it really depends on the song. It's not like we sort of like set a date and we're like, hey, we're gonna write a song together today. It's more just like if he has something that he wants to show me, he'll send it to me, and I'll write something, and I write songs really quickly, and and so I just send it to him, and I'm like, oh, sorry, so this is like really rough. I wrote it in 20 minutes, but is it good? Should we use this? So we usually do that, and then it's like.
didn't you write like 3 in one day or something?
I was
like that?
literally
Done
actually
that.
just gonna ask that question.
okay.
I had read, I think it was on your
Yeah.
website, that you're known to write 3
I
songs in
haven't-
one day. So how does that work? How does...
I don't do that anymore. I don't know. I should. But back, like, I think it was like 2 summers ago, and I was just, I don't know, I guess I had nothing to do that day. And at that point, like, we started writing one song. We were writing it backstage at the Corona Theater, actually. So we started writing it, but there were no lyrics. It was really just like a chord progression. So I had that, and then I had 2 other ones where I had no idea why I wrote them at the same time to finish that one, but I guess I was really bored and really inspired that day, and I just wrote 3 songs in one day, all pretty different styles too.
Yeah.
But I've done that day.
It was still good.
It's still good though.
Seems kind of slow, no? Or is
It's
that
probably because we slowed down.
okay?
Although I thought the tempo was still pretty good. Like we still.
Yeah, you guys.
Yeah,
slowed
no, it's
down.
fine. It didn't really like.
You didn't really notice that much.
No.
I mean, we'll try for the next one anyway, but
Part of the mics. Why don't you just play something? I guess we play quietly. Sure.
What would you say inspires you to write songs?
A lot of the time, because I don't write songs based off of things that happen to me. So pretty much any song that I have currently is basically not based off of anything from my life, as most artists usually do. I really love watching movies. I really love watching TV shows, and I love reading books a lot. I'm really into that whole fandom thing and getting really invested into, shows and things like that. And so I get a lot of inspiration from storylines. So I don't go through very dramatic things in my life, but these people do, like shows, the characters do, so I just take it from there.
I do wait a lot of the time for some inspiration. Sometimes I'll try to play around with things, but if I have an idea coming often enough, which is really, I don't even know how it happens, but I love it, I'll have a chorus of a song and the chord progression just pop into my head right away. And I often enough will run to get my guitar, and I take my phone out, put the recorder on, get my lyrics. I'm like, okay, write this down before you forget it. And then I'll grow from there and extend it until I have something that I feel is solid enough or is really touching personally.
You want your me. I said you I said, you won't be lonely. And hold my hand and we will stay, I swear. You won't just. Down to the last day, you were always there. Watched it go to waste, drifting through.
You guys filmed a music video for one of the songs, If You Need. So do you want to talk about how that filming went and where the idea came from, the concept, etc.?
The concept was pretty simple. I guess when I listened to the song, I always kind of just imagined this very simple, like outdoorsy kind of video since it's pretty folky. So that's what we went with. And the filming of it went pretty well. It took 2 days, I think, about 2 days. And I mean, we had like literally the best weather ever for it. If you could tell in the video, it's like the most beautiful days that we could have possibly gotten. Unbelievable.
When you touched my arm, oh, it felt so real.
You guys, you have two main vocalists, so how do you determine who takes the lead in a song?
Whoever wrote it.
As most of the time.
Yeah, okay, it has happened, I think, only with like one song,
Yeah,
really.
sometimes little choruses and stuff.
Little choruses, but overall it's, I mean, you wrote the song, you sing your song.
And how do you guys add to that musically when you're, faced with some lyrics, and maybe how does that work, the songwriting process, I guess is what I'm trying to ask.
Well, I'd say we basically, they write the lyrics and the chord progression, and then they bring it in, and then we work on it as a band, and we figure out together what fits and what doesn't. So we'll try different drum beats, we'll try different things on bass, and based on what the song needs, we kind of just develop it through that. So sometimes certain songs might be more focused on the lyrics, and then, Julia and I and Michael and I we'll all keep it pretty simple musically and have the lyrics and the harmonies as the center. But sometimes it's like our instrumental song, like that's all musically driven.
Yeah.
So then our parts get more complex, and we kind of.
That's when we really took it to the next level, where we made it, like complex and.
With this growing experience, we've realized that simplicity is very important. And, it's not, the guitar is not the most important part of the band. It's not the singing, it's not the bass, it's not the drums, it's not the keyboards, it's the song that's the most important part. And that's what we've come to realize, is that it doesn't really matter what we're doing a lot of the time, as long as it's affecting the song in a positive way. We're not overdoing it. And sometimes the song will call for that, but most of the time we just, here's the song, enjoy the song. We're not showing off. Here you go.
What would you say is one of your biggest accomplishments thus far as a band?
I think releasing our album
Yeah, for sure.
was one of the biggest accomplishments. I think at such a young age that we are, it's a pretty big deal. So I think that really was one of the big
And just to
stepping stones.
put on that, like, the show itself too, like not just the
Yeah,
album.
just-
like,
yeah.
because it was all like us that did it, We got the venue, and then we basically did the rest, we made the album, we purchased all the t-shirts, sold all the tickets, did all the promotion for it, and it was a huge project, and it all came together really nicely. I think that was probably our biggest accomplishment, just the entire thing.
No matter how long I stay.
What is one of your biggest goals as musicians?
I must say that the biggest goal would be to make this our living, you know? Being able to rely on this band would be spectacular, not having to do anything else. It's a big dream that a lot of people face, and it doesn't always happen. But you know, we're gonna keep going, and we're gonna keep trying to make this happen no matter what. And that's definitely something big for us, is that if we could make it in the industry, play shows all the time, tour to all the little cities, all the big cities, and pretty much reach out to all these communities, get to know the world more with our music, it would be a dream come true. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better than that.
Yeah, exactly.